Okay, first of all you got your paraffin oil. Now what you want to do is you want to get your paraffin oil. You can see that it moves. Basically they're both mineral oils, they're both paraffin to a certain extent, but this one, which is baby oil, you see the way it slops around in there very quick. Yeah? It's got smaller, or it's lower moieties, in other words shorter chains in there, whereas this one, it's thicker, it moves around more steadily like that. It's high moieties of paraffin, so in other words longer CH chains in it. Now this one won't impregnate your jemmy or other plant material, whereas this one will. This one will impregnate them and kill them, whereas this one won't. So don't get the two confused. Don't use baby oil, even though it says on the back something like mineral oil somewhere down here. It will say that, if the thing will focus. If we shine a light on it, it may do. So yes, down there it says, where does it say? Somewhere it says, oh there, ingredients, mineral oil and fragrance. Okay, whereas this one is just the mineral oil with no fragrance. It's just paraffin. So higher moieties won't impregnate your jemmy, therefore your jemmy stays alive, and you just have to keep it in the fridge at 6 degrees with a water bath. So in other words, I'll just use the bowl, but you know, so you surround the you surround your paraffin bottle that you have your jemmy in, or whatever container, with some water, and you fill it up to the same level as the paraffin, and you keep it in your fridge that way, and you can keep it in the fridge for 11 months that way. At least you can keep the jemmy alive for 11 months and take them out. The only disadvantage of this is it takes 2 to 3 weeks extra time for the jemmy to actually sprout. That's all. So it sets the germination of the sprouting of the jemmy back about 2 to 3 weeks. So it normally takes you 4 to 6 weeks for that to, for your jemmy to sprout and set itself. Add on another 2 to 3 weeks to that, basically. But the advantage is you get an extra 11 months of possibility of actually planting out your jemmy. So in other words, it slows up the jemmy part. You don't have to rush out and plant all your jemmy all in one big rush. You can plant some this month, you can plant some out the next month. So you can actually regularly plant them out, and you can plant out a set number of jemmy, and you have time to actually space them out in nice pattern. This allows you to space them out in a nice pattern if you want to, and it also means you can actually plant out really late in the year. Like normally jemmy collection time is April, May into maybe June sort of thing, and normally you have to sort of plant them as soon as you've got them sort of thing, and so the plants are growing from once they've sprouted, they grow on from there. So they're growing on from, say, May, June, July, sort of onwards, and you're getting mature plants, early to middle to late spring, coming up to Christmas time, sort of thing. And then over the summer period, they start to get, to the largest size, and they start to get a bit ratty, sort of thing. Whereas this allows you to plant them out really late, like you can plant them out November, December, January, February if you wanted to, and then they start growing. There's a slight delay of about 2 to 3 weeks added onto the normal sprouting time. But once they start growing like normal young looking pygmies, you see. So by the time it comes around the following year for jemmy production, you're getting jemmy. Not only do your plants look younger and sort of therefore healthier, compared to other people's plants that are now almost a year old sort of thing. Yours only look like 2 or 3 months old sort of thing, and also they're running in now into the cooling of the nighttime temperatures down to about the 8-degree mark when they start to set their own jemmy sort of thing. So you can actually, in a way, in quotes, get jemmy on jemmy, and which is an exponential way of increasing your pygmy collection sort of thing. Whether this could be adapted to petiolaris, I don't know. But you could also use the fridge. If you raise the normal fridge temperature is about 6 degrees. You could knock it up to about 8 degrees, and just place your plants in the fridge at night time. Take them out during the day, but place them in overnight, sort of thing. You wake up before you go to work, you take them out of the fridge. When you come home, you whack them in the fridge, sort of thing, that sort of thing. And you can actually get the plants to produce jemmy. So you could actually get some jemmy, get them growing for 2 or 3 months, then whack them in the fridge at 8 degrees, sort of thing, on a nightly basis. Come home from work or whatever, whack them in the fridge, wake up in the morning, take them out again, sort of thing, and they'll start producing. So you have these small young plants at 2 or 3 months old starting to produce their own jemmy, and then you can do it again, sort of thing. Let them grow for 2 or 3 months, and then whack them in the fridge, sort of thing. And before you know it, you're getting jemmy on jemmy on jemmy, sort of thing. But this technique, I did develop the original paraffin idea, but Donnie discovered this, the adding the water around it, which keeps the temperature in the fridge more stable, because the fridge does have like a diurnal wobble. And pygmies, like with their water supply, they like a nice regular constant water supply over summer. As soon as that water supply goes down by 1 or 2 centimeters, it's like a trigger for them to go into dormancy. So they're really finicky about their water level. It also seems like they're very finicky about the temperature for this sort of thing in the fridge, sort of thing. So you can see there's a relationship between how finicky they are with the water table and whether they go into dormancy or not. And because as with pygmies, once they go into dormancy, you lose quite a lot of your plants. You always have a few that will remain over, but once they go into natural dormancy, you lose a hell of a lot of. You might lose like 2/3 of your plants, sort of thing. So the idea of having a constant water level or water table is to prevent your plants over summer going into dormancy. Therefore, you retain all those plants into the coming season, and they set jemmy, sort of thing. So you increase your collection that way, rather than losing 2/3 of your collection by not having a stable water level. By having a stable water level, you keep most of your collection. Therefore, you get jemmy off of most of your collection, sort of thing. Whereas keeping the water up there to the level of the paraffin keeps a nice stable temperature in the paraffin, and therefore they last longer, and they can last, like, for, as I said, from personal experience, at least 11 months. I don't know what the end time is, but all I can say with any degree of certainty is at least 11 months. So if you do this water thing, this added addendum that Donnie discovered, I'll put in there, you'll get at least 11 months of nice jemmy, which you can take out. As I said, the only disadvantage is you've got to whack on another 2 to 3 weeks to the normal sprouting time, and as you go towards the up to the 11-month time in the fridge, it does get a little bit longer, because you basically, you've slowed everything, being in the fridge, you slowed things down from a metabolism point of view. So, the 2 to 3 weeks is from the initial planting out, but as you get up to the 11 months, you may need to whack on another, 4 or 5 weeks to the normal sprouting time. But they do survive for at least 11 months this way. I don't know what the limit is. Whether it's a year and a half, I don't know. But do you really want that amount of time, or do you really need that amount of time? All you need is basically a few extra months, half a year or so, to allow you to plant these things out at a nice leisurely pace, and also to allow you the advantages of getting jemmy on jemmy and exponentially increasing your pygmy collection. And whether you can somehow adapt this to whether Sean and other people like Sean can adapt this sort of technology to the petiolaris complex, if we make the assumption that somehow the petiolaris complex and the pygmy Drosera are somehow distantly evolutionarily related. Maybe they are, not sure, but So anyway, that's the first step, is getting the right paraffin. Get the wrong one, you'll kill them. Get the right one, you can have up to at least 11 months in the fridge. at 6 to 8 degrees sort of thing. So yeah, okay, over and out for this clip. It's run on rather long, but there's a lot to talk about. Okay, over and out.